Palestinian groups in Australia have hailed the federal government's decision to use the term, quote, occupied Palestinian Territories when describing the West Bank, a move that was swiftly criticised by Jewish groups as inaccurate and ahistorical. Canberra says it's guided by the principle of progress towards an enduring two-state solution.
The Prime Minister has defended the government's decision to reinstate the term occupied Palestinian Territories, as the opposition accused it of unilateral action.
My government is a strong supporter of Israel and its right to exist within secure borders. My government will continue to engage constructively on these issues.
Canberra says it's alarmed by the Israeli government's increasing settlement activity in the West Bank.
These trends are significantly reducing the prospects for peace. We are seeing escalating violence, the loss of Israeli and Palestinian lives, civilian lives.
Yet the opposition insists the change is due to another reason entirely.
You've changed Australia's position in relation to Israel, yet again during the life of your government, and done so in order to appease the factions ahead of next week's national conference.
The Foreign Minister says Australia will align with the UK, New Zealand and key allies in Europe, and a UN Security Council resolution in 2016 which determines that the settlements constitute a violation of international law, which Israel disputes. Australian language has been inconsistent over the years. In 2014, then Coalition Attorney-General George Brandis made the change to disputed from occupied, saying that term was neither appropriate nor useful. Palestinian groups say the latest change to the terminology is a step in the right direction.
It's hardly a sufficient step if we're keen in bringing real change. This step actually depends on whether we'll be able to translate it into meaningful action on the ground.
It's an important acknowledgement by the Australian government that illegal Israeli settlements in Palestinian areas are the biggest obstacles to peace.
But Jewish groups have criticised the government's policy change, calling it inaccurate, ahistorical and counterproductive.
The effect is just to give support to the most extreme elements in Palestinian society, and the result will be driving the parties even further apart rather than bringing them together.
So basically the Jewish community thinks that calling them Palestinian territories effectively denies any Israeli legal claims to the West Bank, or indeed any Jewish cultural claims to the West Bank, which is frankly absurd.
The shift by Australia comes as Israel's government moves further to the right. Recently re-elected Benjamin Netanyahu and his ultra-nationalist government doubling down on settlement construction. Canberra, meanwhile, has not committed to a timeframe for recognising a Palestinian state. Rochelle Harrison-Pless, SBS World News.